So there are three different ways that we can classify matter. One way that we can discuss matter is by referring to things that are pure substances. We've talked before that if you have a substance with only one type of atom, we call that an element. Right? So gold, silver, mercury, lead, all these things are elements. If you just had that one atom, that one thing. But if you take a substance and you combine it with more than one type of atom, like sodium chloride or water or methane, we call it a compound. Here, this thing is more than one type of atom, but it's still an atom of water. More appropriately, a molecule of water. Pure substances are those that consist of a single element or compound. So elements are one thing, they're just one type of atom, all alone by themselves. Compounds can be made up of multiple types of atoms, but they're all just one type of that one compound. And we refer to these as pure substances because they consist of a single element or a single compound. Water is all water molecules, all water atoms. However, remember that in real life, you're really never going to have anything that's 100% pure, a single thing. Atoms are so small that even in a glass of water, there's going to be atoms of all sorts of different things in there that aren't just water. Okay, so purity in the case of substances as we talk about them is always relative because you'll never really have anything that's 100% pure. Most substances, most things that we have are actually mixtures. Mixtures contain one or more elements or compounds that can be separated by physical interaction, by physical means. So you can do something to take them apart from one another. You can't physically remove hydrogen and the hydrogen atoms from the oxygen atom in water, but you could go and boil the water and remove the salt. And so mixtures contain one or more compounds that can be separated by doing something like boiling the water away and leaving the salt behind. There are different types of mixtures. A heterogeneous mixture are those where you can see distinct differences between the components of the mixture. If you look at a piece of wood or concrete, you can see the different little rocks and stuff inside the concrete. You can see the different grains and pieces of wood. If you look at a salad, you can see all of the different components that make up the salad. Same thing with a pizza. These are all heterogeneous mixtures. They're made up of multiple things that you could separate by physical means. Homogeneous mixtures are sometimes called solutions. These are where the components cannot be easily distinguished from one another. So they're mixtures of different elements or compounds, but you can't tell them apart. For example, I've got here listed three different types of homogeneous mixtures. Gemstones are solid mixtures of silica minerals. So all of the gemstones that you have are all made out of the same types of things. They just contain different atoms in their mixture that make them different colors. Seawater is a liquid mixture of salt dissolved in water. So if you have a cup of salt water or 2 cups of salt water from the same place, you can't tell them apart because they're homogeneous mixtures. Air is another homogeneous mixture. It's a gaseous mixture of nitrogen, oxygen, and argon, and some other stuff, carbon dioxide, water vapor. But you can't tell one chunk of air from another chunk of air. because it's all mixed together in a homogeneous mixture. You can't see the different components. There is a helpful reference in your textbook for mixtures. And so here we have matter, and we can classify matter into pure substances, which are elements and compounds, and then mixtures. So our three types of substances, or three ways to classify matter. And then we just break down mixtures a little further.